Welcome to MT. Hope you enjoy the video.
Every graduate here today has the training and the talent to succeed, but do you have the guts to fail? Here's my second point about failure. If you don't fail, you're not even trying. I'll say it again. If you don't fail, you're not even trying. My wife told me this great expression. To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did. Les Brown's a motivational speaker. He made an analogy about this. He says, imagine you're on your deathbed, and standing around your deathbed are the ghosts representing your unfulfilled potential. The ghost of the ideas you never acted on. The ghost of the talents you didn't use. And they're standing around your bed, angry, disappointed, and upset. They say, we came to you because you could have brought us to life, they say. And now we have to go to the grave together. So I ask you today, how many ghosts are going to be around your bed when your time? You've invested a lot in your education, and people have invested in you. And let me tell you, the world needs your talents. Man, does it ever. I just got back from Africa like 2 days ago, so if I'm rambling on, it's because I'm jet lagged. I just got back from South Africa. It's a beautiful country, but there are places there with terrible poverty that need help. And Africa is just the tip of the iceberg. The Middle East needs your help. Japan needs your help. Alabama needs your help. Tennessee needs your help. Louisiana needs your help. Philadelphia needs your help. The world needs a lot, and we need it from you. We really do. We need it from you young people. I mean, I'm not speaking to the rest of us up here, but I know I'm getting a little grayer. We need it from you, the young people. Let's remember this. So you got to get out there. You got to give it everything you got, whether it's your time, your talent, your prayers, or your treasures. Because remember this, you will never see a U-Haul behind a hearse.
The better you lead, the more you'll succeed. The better leader you are, the larger organization you can develop. The better leader you are, the larger your following, the greater your influence will be. The law of the lid is an amazing law, and it basically says that as you learn to lead, you will grow and be more successful. And the better that you lead, the more successful you will become. Now, for teaching purposes on the law of the lid, I want you to look up at me and let me just give you a visual so that we can kind of make sure we got this, okay? If let's say, for example, if this is my leadership lid, this is how well John Maxwell leads, okay? This is my lid. I don't go any higher than this lid. This is my leadership lid. This is how well I lead. And let's just say I'm an average leader. So it's a 5. I'm a 5. I'm from a 1 to a 10, I'm a 5 leader. If that's the case, if this is my leadership lid, this is how well I lead, what the law of the lid teaches is that my business, your business, what you do with Vasalis right now, your business will come under your leadership lid, but it will never get any better or go any higher or grow any farther than what your ability to lead is. So that your leadership lid literally determines the level of your success. So if I'm a 4 as a leader, what that means is that my business will be a 4. Or if I'm a 5 as a leader, my business will be a 4. Does that make sense? Now, even in a great organization like this, my leadership lid will determine the level of my success. Now, when I began to understand the leadership lid, and I began to teach the leadership lid, all of a sudden everything began to change. Because you see, it was in 1974 that I came to the conclusion, after studying successful people for 5 years, from 69 to 74. After really looking and watching successful people, I came to the conclusion that everything rises and falls on leadership. And when I say everything rises and falls on leadership, you say, John, what do you mean everything rises and falls on leadership? What I mean is everything rises and falls on leadership. Now, what part of that don't you get? I didn't say some things. I didn't say most things. I didn't say 99% of the things. I said everything rises and falls on leadership. In fact, I know it. I believed it in 1974. I started studying leadership. I started teaching leadership. I started leading a long time ago. But now in 2013, I'm more convinced than ever that everything rises and falls on leadership. And one of the reasons I am is because I've developed the largest leadership training company in the world. We're in 174 countries. We've trained 6 million leaders. In fact, we are now training 1 million leaders every 10 months. And we're 2 years away from training 1 million leaders every 6 months. And by 2020, we'll train 1 million new leaders every month around the world. So when the United Nations asked me to do the opening assembly to all the ambassadors, they said, come in and talk about leadership. The reason they asked me to do that is because we teach leadership in and in 2 years we'll be in every country of the world teaching leadership. And I understand leadership. I know how to train leaders. I know how to teach leaders. I understand leadership. It's been my life. It's been my life for a long, long time. And in 74, I was convinced everything rises and falls on leadership. And can I tell you, 2013, I know without any question, everything rises and falls on leadership. So how well I lead will determine how well I succeed. So this is huge. I've got to become a better leader. And the question people ask me all the time is, can I become a better leader? They'll ask me a question like, John, are leaders born? When they ask me, are leaders born? I always give them the same answer. Of course they are. Come on now, think of that question for a moment, huh? I've never met an unborn leader. Don't particularly want to either. Thank you very much. So when they ask me, are leaders born? I know what they're not really asking, are they born? What they're really asking is, are there some people when they're born, they got it? And some people when they're born, they don't got it. And if you got it, you go to the front of the line. If you don't got it, you go to the back of the line. That's what they're asking. And I've got great news for you. And I do believe, I have no question about it, that there are some people that are born with what I call leadership leanings. No doubt about that. Just like some people are born with kind of a musical leaning. No doubt. But the great news is, because I've done this for so long, and I've done this with so many over such a long period of time in every country of the world, what I know is you can learn to lead. You can learn to lead. You can learn to be a better leader than you are right now. You can grow as a leader. In fact, look at the person you're sitting beside and say to them, even you can learn to lead.
I think you definitely want to capitalize on your strengths, for sure. You know, if you and I were to get into a fight and I knew that you were a really good boxer and I was a really good grappler, well, then I would take you down to the ground and submit you there. Now, that's what I would do in a fight. Meanwhile, while I'm training, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to become a better boxer. I'm also going to maintain my grappling skills, but I'm going to focus on the areas that I'm weak to make sure that they don't get exposed in the event that situation arises. So I think definitely capitalize on your strengths and work on your weaknesses. They're not mutually exclusive. You can do both.
I will say that one of my goals in life is not to get into a physical altercation with you, though. Unless we're training, I would take part in that for sure.
Come on down to San Diego.
Right on. I'm definitely going to take you up on that. So, Jocko, have you always been disciplined? I mean, where does this come from? Is this ingrained in you? Were you born disciplined? Were there times in your life where you were not disciplined?
Oh yeah, I was kind of a crazy kid growing up. I actually was pretty rebellious. And for me, growing up in a small New England town, probably the most rebellious thing that I could do was join the military, because most kids either stayed in town and became house painters or landscapers, or they went off to college and pursued some kind of a career. Not many people from where I'm from joined the military. So that's one of the most rebellious things I could do was join the military. And I think what led to that was I was a little bit of a rebel against kind of the mainstream kids that I grew up around that were smoking pot and listening to hippie music. And I actually went in the other direction and was into kind of hardcore music and metal music, and that attitude that I learned from that kind of music sort of directed me in this thought process when I was young, and it just kind of carried through. And I'd say that phase of my life, it was pretty hardcore for when I was a kid, but it's still, I still think about that. I still listen to the same music. I still believe in trying to do the right thing and try and maintain discipline in what I'm doing. How
did your perspective change when you joined the military?
Joining the military was great for me because it was a blank slate. When you're a kid, and when I was a kid, and I think a lot of kids have this problem. When I say kids, I mean people between the ages of 7 and 27. I think that it's hard sometimes to connect the present with the future. And I know I didn't realize where that what I was doing at this moment in time as a 14-year-old or 15-year-old kid absolutely would affect where I would end up in the future. And what was great was when I joined the military, all of a sudden they paint this very clear path for you. And for me, the path that I was trying to get on was trying to be a SEAL. And when I got into boot camp, they said, okay, if you do these things, you will be on the path to be a SEAL. If you don't do these things, you will be off the path. So it was very simple for me. Okay, I need to do these exercises. I need to run this amount of time. I need to swim this amount of time. I need to fold my uniforms the way they're telling me to fold them. I need to study the material that they're telling me to study if I want to stay on the path to becoming a SEAL. So once I found that path, I could focus my energy on it, and that's what I did. I had a very clearly defined path that I did define it for myself. I wanted to be a SEAL. And so that's a very clearly defined path for me. A lot of people, they don't know what it is that they actually want to do. And so when you don't know what you want to do, there's no path to be on, so you can just wander wherever you want. And what I would say is, even if you don't know where you want to go, there are certain fundamental things that are going to help you no matter what path you want to be on. Being physically fit, being mentally strong, learning as much as you can about as much different topics and variable things in the world that you can. Doing all those things will make you a better person, make you more prepared for whatever endeavor it is you're going to end up trying to pursue.
Thank you for watching our video. Check out our other motivational videos that will help you turn your life in positive direction.